Good evening, Christopher Hamblett, H-A-M-B-L-E-T-T, representing Save the Bay, Providence, Rhode Island. I'm here on behalf of our Board of Directors and membership to urge the Energy Facility Citing Board to deny the application before you. The Clear River watershed in which this plant would be built is an integral part of the Blackstone watershed, which is, of course, an integral part of Narragansett Bay. The Clear River Energy Center does not belong in this proposed location, an interior forest of high conservation value, vital to the conservation of biodiversity. You've had many advisory opinions submitted to you, but I will note that DEM's Wildlife Action Plan was cited by the DEM as experts on forestry and wildlife. That plan, quote, identifies habitat fragmentation as one of the foremost threats to Rhode Island's biodiversity. And it goes on to say that the quote, the best course of action is to avoid further fragmentation to the greatest extent practicable, to focus on conservation on the best and least impaired blocks of habitat, and to focus restoration efforts on restoring connectivity of intact habitats rather than continuing to fragment landscapes and look for mitigation elsewhere. The location of a facility this size and scope immediately adjacent to state holdings of conservation land is not consistent with the conservation priorities that inform these conservation plans. Close quote. While the DEM is reviewing a set of permits on wetlands and water withdrawals and other issues, I'm here to say that it is your job as the Citing Board to meet your statutory obligation and require that the applicant show that the proposed facility will not cause unacceptable harm to the environment. So the issue of forest fragmentation goes beyond any single permit that the DEM is responsible for. This is in your court. The governor recently issued an executive order on climate change resiliency. Protecting this valuable habitat-rich forested upland area would be a great first step in the state's resiliency plan. And I think as a state, we need to set our sights much higher than we have in the past. Can't Rhode Island meet its energy needs without taking out one of its most valuable ecological areas? We can do much better than that, and we urge you to deny this application and work for a much cleaner, healthier energy future for the state. Thank you.
Thank you.